Hello, parents. Are you new to homeschooling and you have a kindergartner or a first grader or a second grader and you're wanting to get involved with a co-op? Maybe you're wanting to start your own in-home co-op. Today, I'm going to share with you how I started my own homeschool co-op and participated in a small group when I was first starting out homeschooling. Hi, I'm Rebecca, and welcome to the Parent-Teacher Bridge, where you can find the resources and ideas you need to empower you to be your child's most influential teacher. Well, today I'm going to share with you how I started an in-home co-op when I was a new homeschool parent. If you like, go to the description below and click the parentteacherbridge.com/homeschool co-op to get a free downloadable guide on what steps you can take to do the same. So I started homeschooling in the year 2014. My son was 5 years old, normally ready for kindergarten, but I decided to call it junior kindergarten that year and give him an extra year to mature. But I still wanted him to be involved with other children and continue learning and just get those special experiences that all kids get when they go to school or preschool. I had just had a baby and we were trying to save money. So my oldest was not going to preschool anymore. And I wondered, okay, where's he going to get to do little crafts and sing little songs with other friends and even have some holiday parties? So I was able to solve that problem by having an in-home co-op. Now, when I say co-op, that implies that I'm not doing everything. I help set it up, but I won't hold all of the responsibilities. All the parents chipped in and we shared that responsibility of planning for parties and planning lessons and anything that we did. Okay, so the first step in planning a homeschool co-op was to connect online. When I first decided that I was going to be homeschooling, I think I knew maybe one other homeschool family, and they mentioned to me that there was a local Facebook group for homeschoolers. So I quickly joined that and I was able to ask a few questions and see if there was anybody out there in my situation that had a child that wanted to get together with other kids maybe once a week for a homeschool co-op. So your first step is to connect online. Now, had I not had the online Facebook group for our local area, another thing that I could have done was to go to the library and ask a few questions or just make myself present at the library during the school day, because when you see school-age children at the library during the day, you can be pretty certain that they are homeschoolers. Hi parents, is your child struggling to read or even hates to read and nothing you have tried has worked? Get my free guide, 5 quick tips to immediately help your struggling reader. I'm going to show you the simple tricks that I've used for years to successfully improve children's reading and their confidence in reading. It's easy, it's simple, and it's free. Just go to theparentteacherbridge.com/reading help. You can find that link in the description below. Step 2 is plan an in-person meeting. You know, you can only know so much about someone from contacting them online. So the very next step we did once we had a handful of names is we planned an in-person meeting at our local McDonald's play area. You could do it at a park or a library also, but we let our children play while we sat around and decided what did we want the year to look like? What would the calendar be like? What would be the best day of the week to meet? Would we meet in just one person's home or would we take turns? And all of those little details. So meeting in person also allowed our children to get to know each other and play. Number 3, we made a calendar and I set up a private Facebook group just for our homeschool co-op. So the only people in that group would be the parents of the children involved. And there we could make announcements that were just random or spur of the moment during the week, like, hey, we're going to the park or the library for a while. Does anyone else want to meet us? We could also increase our communication when a parent had an idea for a particular field trip. We worked together with who all we knew in the community, if they owned a particular business, like if they were a vet or if they were a pediatric dentist. We would work with those connections and plan small field trips throughout the year. Having a calendar also enabled us to share the responsibility of planning holiday parties. I know for certain that we had a costume Halloween party, and we definitely had a Valentine party where they got to exchange Valentines. I can't really remember Christmas, so there's a possibility that we just kind of skipped over that one just because it was a busy season. But we were also able to look at different families' vacations and times that we needed off. So we basically decided that we would meet on Wednesdays for an hour and a half or 2 hours, and that we would take turns which homes we met in each week. So what would the children be doing? Well, whoever's home was hosting for that particular week, they would choose 1 or 2 read aloud books with a particular theme and choose a small craft to go along with that. They might also choose a little song or a little game that would go along with that. So our children were getting to experience some of those pre-K, kindergarten type things and not having to do it alone at the kitchen table. It also provided opportunities for us to take pictures of different things that our children did throughout the year. Now, in the very beginning, we all met at the same time, but we soon realized that with babies and younger siblings, and as we got to know each other, that we trusted each other to watch each other's kindergartners while we took a little bit of time away from them because the houses would get a little bit crowded. If you're wanting to grow something larger, you might look into actually getting a facility. But for kindergarten and just starting out, we were able to do this in each other's homes, usually the living room, sometimes outside. We had a small group that was manageable for some of these field trips, and I would not trade it for the world. This was all free. We did not have to pay for a facility. We did not have to pay one another. It was a co-op. We worked together. Now, if you are considering changing up things a bit, the following year, I met with other families. Some of them I met through the original 3 or 4 families that we did kindergarten with, but we actually rented a room from a local church, and it was still very, very affordable. I think all in all, it ended up being $5 a family per week, and we just paid for the month in advance. And we did some of those similar things. That year, we all met at the same time, and the parents took turns teaching and took turns watching some of the babies and the younger siblings in another room. Again, we had wonderful opportunities to take photos and remember those years and cherish them. We did special days like pajama days. We did Dr. Seuss days, all those things that you see on Facebook from your friends who have children in public schools. We were able to involve our children with that as well. Now, although I don't have any regrets about the way that we did it, if I were to do it again, I would incorporate a small show and tell time for the children where they could share something for a minute or two, maybe get some prompting questions from the parent who is hosting, because I have done this before in other situations since then. And just seeing how much the children grow in their confidence and their speaking abilities, I think that would be something to include as well. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you would like to try your own homeschool co-op, be sure to check out my free guide, theparentteacherbridge.com/homeschool co-op. I will leave that in the description below. Check out the Parent Teacher Bridge on Facebook and Instagram. And don't forget, click that like button below and subscribe for more helpful videos. Please share this with a friend. And don't forget, parents, you are your child's most influential teacher.